to turn this off just so I don't have background noise. I'm going to get my tea out of the way. All right, so what I'm going to do...
cognac.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Or whiskey, or a vodka, martini kind of a thing. All right, so what I'm going to demonstrate is the...
Do you want to be in the picture?
No, I don't need. I actually rather not. But now that that's on tape, I better. Anyway, so what I'm going to be demonstrating is cambering and straightening bows. So, and specifically ones that are being made for the first time, new bows. I use a template, but the template is a composite of a lot of different violin cambers. I know the relationship between this camber and a toured or a picot or a sartori, and so I just use it as a reference point. I don't necessarily make the bow conform exactly to this. It depends on what model I'm making. In any case, this bow, if you hold the camera straight over it, you can see that I'm missing camber up here. There's actually needs quite a bit in this area right behind the head. So I'm going to do that first. And for a lot of this, I use the... Let me put some safety glasses on. So, proper respect for that. So I heat the bow like this. I often sit. So I think I'll relax it. Sometimes I can't see if it's even on. I just keep rotating it and moving it back and forth, trying to get it as even as possible. I also pull it off, touch it with my hands. If I can hold on to it, it's definitely not hot enough. It really needs to be 300 and some odd degrees. I forget the exact temperature, but hotter than you can hold with your hand. And it needs to be that way all the way through, so pulling it off gives time for the heat to penetrate in. Also, I don't want to char the outside, so it's also a good reason to pull it off, let the heat penetrate, then apply more heat. I use chalk to mark the area that I'm heating so I can keep track of it. It's getting pretty hot. I cannot hold on to it now any longer. I haven't burnt it yet, so I'm going to keep going.
But do you see color change?
Definitely. Definitely.
But it comes back to normal color.
Well, I'm going to cut this is oversized. So I'm going to cut quite a bit off. Probably 20 thousandths, maybe more. Now sometimes I just try and press it in, but when you get close to the head, you can't really, I can't do this kind of a thing that easily. Sometimes your hand is there, so. And that's a little deeper than it was. It's still not enough. Sometimes you can press more in. And the good part about pushing on it like this is that compresses the fibers and the wood on the one side, which is actually how the bending occurs. The wood does not stretch, it does not expand, but it does contract. And so by pressing on the side that's going to be compressing, you're helping it to compress, helping it to bend. And that's significantly better than it was. It's still like a little more in there. I'm going to heat it a little more. That's good. That's definitely that's pretty good. I'm going to be making a hot model low out of this, so that's pretty close to where I want it to be. So I'm ready to put this down, and once it cools off, I'll move on to the next spot, which is going to be somewhere around here. You can see that it's a little bit sort of conforms to the stick here, along here, and then it starts coming away, and then there's more of a gap back here. So I want to get rid of that. Definitely want more camber in this area. Actually, typically, the picots that I've observed, the camber is actually a little deeper here than on other makers. Shallower here, but deeper here. So there.